everyone, Brandon and Brandon in the Kabuki Strength Lab, and today we're going to be talking about bench press arching. Now, arching is useful for a few reasons. Number one, it creates global tension across your trunk. Global tension is important for producing or transferring maximal leg drive, as well as having a good support for your shoulder girdle to actually create stability and to press from. Secondarily, from a performance standpoint, it's useful to reduce the range of motion of a competition powerlifter's competition style bench press. For the majority of lifters, if you're or strength enthusiasts, people who like to bench press, if you're not a competitive powerlifter, we do not recommend maximizing your arch, but we do recommend maximizing your global tension that you can create through your arch. That doesn't necessarily mean a bigger arch, however, so don't confuse those two things. We're going to show you a drill today to teach global extension through the upper back, and this is very important because a lot of people are going to associate extending the spine with scapular retraction. If you've watched any of our bench press or scapular function in the bench press videos, you'll know that we don't want people finding complete tension in retraction and extension alone. We need to be able to differentiate extension with retraction and scapular function, and that's what this drill is going to aim to teach. It's going to teach the extension portion of it. We have our, you can use almost anything for this that's about this size. We really like this AccuMobility roller for it because it has some ridges on it, it's grippy, and it's just about the right height to use. So if you have one, use it, or potentially consider getting one. Go ahead and get your upper back on there, Brandon. We're going to set Brandon up with his hips on the ground. Upper back's going to be on the roller. Now from this position, I don't need him bridging around the roller or anything like that. We're almost really talking about stretching out this entire frontal plane or connective tissues or whatever is on the front of his body there. But we really want to create global extension through the spine. Now, we're not really targeting thoracic extension or anything like that. When we look at the thoracic spine joints, those are all flexion bias joints, so the degree in which we can actually extend them is incredibly minimal. So we typically won't refer to it as thoracic extension as much as we will just global spinal tension or global extension through the spine for bench pressing. We're going to anchor Brandon with this band. Use a moderately heavy band. The band is going to act as a point for Brandon to leverage his body around. If you were to do this without a band, you would still be able to be fairly effective, but you're not going to be able to arch as hard as possible because you're not going to have an additional anchor point to do so. Brandon's going to set up a small brace here, nothing too crazy, and he's not trying to resist position. He is trying for maximal range of motion improvements. Now, we're going to use a contract relax method here for Brandon, and he's going to hold for about an 8 count, and then he's going to relax for about an 8 count. Okay, go ahead, Brandon. Extend through that roller as hard as you can, your whole spine. Good. Continue. Brandon is working really, really hard here. This is not a relaxation type of drill. This is not just rolling across the roller and trying to lay in position. Go ahead and relax. Good. We'll give him maybe about 5 count here, and then we'll do it again. Again, Brandon. Even though Brandon's not moving through a huge range of motion, we're teaching complete tension throughout his upper back. Tension without the use of scapular retraction, which is a very important skill, as we've mentioned, for bench press stability and overall performance. Good job, Brandon. Relax. Now, if you guys are doing this, we would recommend anywhere from 3 to 4 sets for a 5 to 8 count contraction or hold at end range and a 5 to 8 count relaxation phase, at which point you would try and go back in and get a slightly bigger range of motion. Anything to add there, Brandon?
Yeah, that covers it.
Brandon's out.